Yes, all right, the lads. Welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. It's the first mid morning show I've done in a while, and here we are, Arsenal transfer news live with your boy Cossy. We're gonna discuss a lot. We're gonna speak a lot in terms of Arsenal transfers. So make sure you do get in your opinions. Make sure you do get in your thoughts in the comment box. Do smash the like button, people. That really means a lot. Look, let me say this. We hit 30,000 subscribers, and that is, we did a show yesterday about the 30,000 subscriber mark and where we've come from and where we are going and everything. But I want to ask you a simple favor. When you reach every stream, when you reach every video that on YouTube of your favorite YouTuber, be it me, be it Deluded Guna, be it AFTV, be it Lee Ghana, be it Bavas 14, and a couple of other, YouTubers. I watch so many of them. I watch James Alcott. I watch Laurie Jennings. I watch The Kickoff. I watch Mark Goldbridge. I watch so many. I watch a lot of stuff. But if you reach a YouTube video and you feel like you want to support, whether it is a replay or live, the only way you can support, the best way you can support a channel is by putting a like button. That channel will never die, and that is how you help the channel grow a little bit bigger and bigger. It is the subscribers, it's the numbers of subscribers, but subscribers without engagement is zero for YouTube. So thanks everybody who is smart like button, people. Thanks everybody who has always subscribed and committed themselves to subscribing to the Arsenal podcast with Cossy. We're gonna speak a couple of things this early morning or this mid morning. We're gonna speak Manuel Locatelli. Juve's second offer is just below valuation. It is ridiculous, and Sassoulo have decided to sell the player to Arsenal, according to reports. However, there is a lot of work. There's going to be a lot of work by Arsenal to convince the player to leave Juve. But Sassoulo have decided they now want to sell to Arsenal. They now want to do business with Arsenal because the offer Juve have actually put in is ridiculous. 10 million euros in loan fees, 20 million euros in obligation in obligations to buy. Sassoulo has rejected that offer, and what is interesting actually is they're saying we want to do business now with Arsenal. So the ball has finally landed in our court. The ball is in our hands. What are we going to do with the ball? That's the big question. What will Arsenal exactly do with the ball? We will speak about Aaron Ramsdale. David Ornstein saying he is out of priority, and a couple of reports coming out and confirm that Arsenal are actually out of the race to sign this lad. They are tired of it. They're tired of it. They're tired of it. So we're going to speak that as well. We're going to dive into that as well. We speak Joe Willock closer. Joe Willock is becoming closer and closer to Newcastle. Renato Sanchez, there is an update, not really a close update, but we have at least we have a confirmation that the player will be offloaded or will be for sale. Martin Odegaard, it's a lot to speak about. It's a lot to speak about, people. Odegaard, Madrid are saying there is no player at Madrid that does not have a price tag. There is no player at Real Madrid that doesn't have a price tag. What does that mean? Lautaro Martnez links 66 million pounds, 77 million euros. Can we actually get Lautaro Martnez? That and more coming up on the show. Do smash the like button, people. Let's get into it. Yes, all right, the lads. Welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. Let's get the party started. So to begin the party, Let's start off with Manuel Locatelli. Let's begin off with Manuel Locatelli. Now, this is an update. If you were watching the live stream we did yesterday, it was very, very, very clear that it came out yesterday in the night. But most of you were actually asleep, so you didn't get it. You didn't get a chance to actually dive into it. So I'm gonna dive into it and try to tell you what actually happened with Manuel Locatelli and the offer that Juventus made, and how close we are becoming to signing Manuel Locatelli if we can convince him otherwise. If we can convince him otherwise. Now, this update is from Sport Mediaset .it, Sport Mediaset.it, and this is what they actually put out. They said Juve's new offer for Sassoulo, two-season loan, worth 10 million euros, mandatory purchase of 20 million euros, additional 5 million euros. So what Juve want to do is they want to offer Sassoulo 10 million euros for a loan spell of 2 seasons, a mandatory purchase of 20 million euros, and potential add-ons of 5 million euros. So roughly their offer is around 35 million euros in total. A couple of reports actually are reporting that Juventus's offer is even way too below than the reported 35 million euros, because the only guaranteed fee is 30 million euros. The 5 million add-ons, of course, do come with a lot of strings attached. If a player does well, if a player wins Champions League, if a player does this and that. But the confirmed fee that Juventus are really willing to pay for the player across a period of 3 years, and this is ridiculous, is 30 million euros. So the total is 30 million euros, less than Arsenal's offer of 10, less than Arsenal's offer by 10 million euros. Sassoulo want to sell the player to Arsenal, but the player still insists he wants Juventus. So this is where the boost is, people. And I know you're waiting for the big boost. I think for me, this one is a big boost. I told you on Monday that Wednesday is when we get to know what happens with Manuel Locatelli. Everybody's tired of it. I'm absolutely disgusted, and I'm absolutely running impatient. It's getting to my nerves. But you think if you're gonna think about it, Manuel Locatelli, Juventus, Sassoulo, there is connection, but the money is not there. The argument on the money is never gonna come, and that's why I think now is the time. If Arsenal are really serious about Manuel Locatelli, now is the time. Absolutely, we are putting an offer. That bid, despite the fact that a couple of cricket reports are actually denying it, that bid has been confirmed by numerous credible sources. You have you have the agents of players confirming that. You have Giovanni Canavelli, the CEO of Sassoulo, confirming that. And Juve, I told you, they will struggle because they are in a very difficult financial situation. The one club that is really not going to have so many players to sell. They have a very big wage burden with the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo at the club. So it's either they let the player go to Arsenal, or they match our value. Do I think Juve will match our value? They can, because I think it's 10 million euros away. But 10 million euros for Juventus, it's not that easy. And we spoke about it last week when we were speaking about what Juve need to do to get Manuel Locatelli, and we said they will need to do a lot. They will need to offer something more. They will need to do lots and lots more in terms of economic clearances. They will need to pull out a lot of economic tricks in order to get Manuel Locatelli. So for me, this is the time for Arsenal to take a step. Juve have made their second offer, and it is below average. Now, there were reports that the player would rather stay at Sassoulo than move to the Premier League. Those reports were absolutely not true. Fabrizio came out and cleared the airwaves and said the player's priority is Juve. Still waiting to see if Juve and Sassuolo can strike a deal. If a deal gets if a deal gets over the line, if an agreement comes in, fair play to Juve, they will take the player. But at the moment, they do not have the ball in their courts. They actually do not have the advantage. The advantage has actually gone out of their hands. Because for me, why I was so afraid of this deal in the first place, and why I wanted us to walk away, is Sassuolo in the first place wanted to sell to Juventus. They have a very good relationship with Juve. Two, the player also wanted to play with Juventus. I mean, it meant nothing for me. It was a transfer where we didn't stand a chance. But at the moment, I think we do stand a chance. Juve do not have the money, and Sassuolo are like, we have someone who's given us good money, or probably Juve could give us Chiesa, maybe. But look, they have an offer at this point in time, with the pandemic hitting clubs. Sassuolo will want to get the maximum benefits of selling Manuel Locatelli, and that is what Arsenal have done. Offered more than 35 million euros. That Juventus is offering, and they have also offered a better payment structure. We have given them a guarantee that they will get their money in less than 2 years, and that is definitely brilliant. It's the same thing we've done with Ben White. If you look at the details published by Duncan Castles on the Ben White deal, it's ridiculous. It's so good. It looks like Arsenal is really learning to do business, because we are going to pay around 30 million upfront, for Ben White. So the Manuel Locatelli situation, yes, it might not be that close. It might not be the easiest of situations. Again, if we think about it, because the player still thinks about Juve. But this is the time you either convince him now or not. When Sassuolo is actually, I will sell to Arsenal. That is the mode. That is the mood in which they are. We are selling to Arsenal. We will sell to Arsenal. That is the mood in which they are. Now our work is to convince Manuel Locatelli. It's not the easiest. It's not the easiest of things. But because the bad thing with Locatelli is he is not choosing Juve because they are attractive. He's choosing Juve because of the emotional attachment he has with them. So that shows you that even if it was Juve finishing 10th, he would actually join Juve, because Fabrizio says the guy is a boyhood fan of Juventus. And I don't disagree. I absolutely don't disagree. I think the player really loves Juventus, but according to the efforts we are putting and how serious we have shown, maybe in making early bids and speaking with Sassoulo and things like that, or maybe the player could have been tempted, but he's not actually tempted. At one point in time, he still thinks his future lies with Juventus. But there's a big bid. There's a big boost there. Big boost there. Arsenal can finally now talk to Manuel Locatelli. Now, because for me, why I think it's even more clearer now, and this directly affects the Houssem Aouar deal, by the way, if you didn't know. So don't ask me, because are we close to signing Houssem Aouar? Yet we've said we have a big boost with Manuel Locatelli. I think where the advantage now lies is Arsenal can finally speak to the player with a lot of confidence that the deal with the club can get over the line. That is the beauty with it. I think you even know now Arsenal have become a threat. Now they're looking at us as a threat, and not potential competition. We are a big threat now because we have the money. We are reportedly having the money. We have actually become a big threat. But what do you think about Manuel Locatelli and the situation now? I would love to hear in from today's Wednesday, and Fabrizio always has a stream on Tuesday. I doubt he will actually make a stream, but I'll try to follow. But I would love to get in an update from someone like Gianluca Di Marzio or from Goal Italia about the situation, because this story, like I said, came out yesterday. and it actually went viral. It actually did go viral. A couple of outlets, a couple of reports coming out on how Juve have finally accepted. This is what we can offer. It is below your estimation. It is below average, but this is what we offer. 35 million euros. Will Sassuolo be tempted? Look, I think what Sassuolo have at the back of their mind is it is not over until it's over. Will they sell? I think they will sell to Arsenal and they will sell to Juve. But it's not over until it's over. They have listened in from Juve and they know that is the ceiling. If you look at this deal, and as compared to the first deal that was proposed, for me, this is Juventus' selling. Absolutely. This is their selling. So what Sassuolo want to do is they want to work with the player. They want to work with Arsenal. If a deal goes through, they know they stand to get more benefits. And that's why I think Arsenal do stand a bigger chance now than ever. Because Sassuolo know if it goes to Arsenal, we get more money. We get more money in a short period, in a shorter period of time. If it goes to Juve, we get less money in a longer period of time. It only makes sense. It absolutely makes sense why Sassuolo are deciding we are gonna do work with Arsenal. I think we think Juve is actually failing. And remember Giovanni Canavelli with his big mouth. He's like Mino Raiola. He always speaks a lot. So he said Juve, their financial situation is bad. They're in a financial cancer, and he said this is not only with Juventus, it's also with a couple of Italian sides. There is a financial cancer killing them. Just look at how Inter Milan are struggling. We will speak about Inter Milan, when I speak about Lautaro Martinez just in a minute, but they've gotten 70 million euros. And of course, we did predict that they will sell either Lautaro Martinez or Lukaku or Achraf Hakimi because they needed that big financial boost. And finally, they did sell out Achraf Hakimi to PSG and got in that 70 million euros. But they're still struggling. They could need to make another signing, another sell. They could need to sell another player. Either Lautaro, I don't think they will sell Nico Barella. I don't think they will, but they could sell Lautaro Martinez. And what's very good, he has very, very good statistics, by the way. We'll dive into Lautaro Martinez just in a minute. But they could need to sell Lautaro Martinez, or they could need to sell Romelu Lukaku, or anyone, again, to make their financial situation better. And that's the problem. With Juve, with Juventus. Italian sides are struggling financially. I don't know whether Arsenal is not struggling financially, but look, I would rather have a good window, spend 200 million, than I struggle in the next one. Because if I get Locatelli and get someone like Odegaard or Maddison, then I know next season I'm not really gonna make big signings. What we'll try to do is to maybe broaden the squad, bring in some 10, 11, 9, 8 million signings just to broaden the squad, and I wouldn't have a problem with that. So with the Manuel Locatelli situation, Arsenal closely now getting into the driving seat. It's not yet there. We are not there, but I think our money has put us at the same level now as Juve. It's now a 50-50. It's no longer Juve, Arsenal. It's now a 50-50. Sassuolo are on our side, and the player is on the side of Juventus. And I told you, with professional football, it's not like it's more of the ancient marriage. You get married without feelings. You get married without the emotions, and you pick up the emotions on the way. You pick up the emotions. If you fail to pick up the emotions, where you've gone, you struggle. So I think it's more like football. Of course, in football and the kind of tolerance and liberalism in the world that has come in, you have a lot of things like players' priorities. Where do I want to play? I want to go to Arsenal. I don't want to go to Manchester United. Things like that. I want to go to Juve. I don't want to go to Parma. things that are, like that are involved. But what actually takes away the liberty at times is the money. So if Arsenal are going to convince Manuel Locatelli otherwise, it's gonna be the money for me. And I'm sorry to say this. Yes, I know Arsenal do not want to convince players with, because of the money and things like that. But at times it happens. Honestly, at times it happens. There are players that have never dreamed of playing for a Manchester City somewhere or a PSG somewhere, and just wake up and like, hello, this is what we have to offer. Will you play for us? And it's like, absolutely. So with transfers, it's not all about player ABCD wants to play for Arsenal or player ABCD doesn't want to play for Arsenal. It goes beyond that. It goes beyond that. It's bigger than that. It could be the professionalism that the club shows in getting the player. It could be the offer that we splash on the table. It could be so many things. And Manuel knows, despite the fact that the club doesn't have Champions League, but it's joining one of the biggest clubs in London, one of the biggest clubs in Europe, one of the biggest clubs in the UK. And he also knows that maybe Arsenal could actually do have the potential to become a great side again. We are not an Aston Villa, please. We are not, we are not a Nottingham Forest. We are the Arsenal. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how we get about, how we go around this. Juve obviously have not actually agreed anything personal with the player, and that's another good thing as well, because they have not agreed any personal terms or anything whatsoever with Manuel Locatelli. Actually, Arsenal have also not agreed personal terms with Manuel Locatelli. It is more of a battle between Arsenal and Juve, to win the interest of Sassoulo. That is where we've been, and I think at that stage we are leading. Unless Juve come up with a supersonic offer, unless Juve come up with an offer that is incredibly beautiful. I mean, with transfers, things do change. You remember Willian was almost signing for Spurs. Juan Mata was almost signing for Arsenal. With transfers, anything can happen at any point in time. But I'm still very convinced, very, very convinced, maybe at some point in time, Arsenal could get this deal over the line. It's now convincing the player. I don't know. Look, I'm not so good at convincing people. I'm not so good at convincing people. And by the fact that this is more of a business relationship between Arsenal and Manuel Locatelli, maybe we should actually approach it from a professional point of view, or maybe we should do that. I don't know. Please make sure this my like button, people. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Let's get them to 100 likes right about now. Thanks everybody for doing that. That really, really means a lot to me. So people, so much. That means a lot to me so much. So please smash the hell out of the like button, people. And good morning to you all. Good afternoon to you all. And thank you so much for watching in right about now. So with the Manuel Locatelli situation, I will leave it at that for the moment, and cross over to another Italian side that has a player that we need, and the guys are called the Azzurris. So we want a player from Inter Milan. When did we last buy a player from Inter Milan? I mean, when have we ever, look, in the past decade, have we been interested in a player? I think Mauro Icardi. I think Icardi is the player that we've been interested in, from Inter Milan. Other than Icardi, I don't remember anyone. Unless otherwise. But in the past decade, I think it's been Mauro Icardi, and so we are interested in another striker from Inter Milan, and this time it is Argentine international Lautaro Martnez. Now let me just feed you in the statistics of this guy last season, for the last 3 seasons with Inter Milan. In the 2018-2019 season, he played 27 games in the Italian Serie A for Inter Milan, 6 goals and 2 assists. 27 goals, 27 games, 6 goals and 2 assists. Everyone is gonna tell me, because that is so low, bro. That is so low. I do understand it's low, right? 2019-2020, 35 games played for Inter Milan, 14 goals and 3 assists. That means in the previous season he got involved in 8 goals. The following season he actually doubled. He got directly involved in 17 goals. Last season, in the 2020-2021 season, he actually played 38 games for Inter Milan, scoring 17 goals and recording a remarkable 6 assists. So he actually got involved in 23 goals altogether. He's been so progressive. That's one of the things you have to think about. He's been so progressive, very progressive, because 3 seasons back, he contributed 8 goals. 2 seasons back, he contributed 17, and last season he actually contributed 23 goals. If you look at his numbers, you're gonna ask me, Cossy, how much is this guy? So according to the information I have from the Telegraph, the nigga has sorry, don't want to say that word. The player has a release clause. The player has a release clause of 111 million euros. However, as it has been reported, the fee could be around 77 million euros. Inter Milan could be tempted to take 77 million euros to 90 million euros. That could be the price, around there. One of the things we remember very clearly is he was, I don't know whether he was so close, but he was closely linked with Barcelona. And there was a lot of optimism last summer that a deal was going to get over the line. Eventually, the deal didn't happen, and they won the league with Inter Milan. So I would say fair play to the player. I would say absolutely fair play to the player. I mean, you refuse Barcelona, you refuse Barcelona struggle, and then you win the league with Inter Milan. Absolutely spot on. Let's hit the like button, people. Thank you so much for watching. In 300 people watching, let's hit the hell out of the like button. Let's get them to 150 likes right about now. Let's get them to 150 likes about now. We have to hit 200 likes, so let's keep smashing that like button. So honestly, like I said yesterday, like I reported yesterday, if you're gonna go optimistic, if you're gonna decide to go optimistic, I think Arsenal can get Lautaro Martnez. That is being optimistic, because we need him absolutely. If you get Lautaro Martnez, you discard Lacazette, you discard Nketiah, you discard Willian. You can also discard Reece Nelson. I can let go 4 of those to bring in Lautaro Martnez, because what Lautaro Martnez gives you is, and I'm so surprised that Chelsea and clubs like Liverpool that are looking for forwards and not actually interested. Or maybe they will have interest at later stages. But if I were Chelsea and I'm looking for a forward, I'm going for Lautaro Martnez. Absolutely, very flexible, very versatile, very good. What a talent he is as a player. So with Lautaro Martnez, what you have is a player that absolutely makes you, I don't want to say title contenders, because to become title contenders, there's a lot that has to be done, especially on the side of a club like Arsenal. There's a lot that has to be done for us to become title contenders. We have to get that. We have to get that defense right. We have to get that midfield right, and then the forward line right. The forward line right. But if you're Chelsea, I think Lautaro Martnez absolutely makes you title contenders. If you're Arsenal, I think the player makes you top 5, top 4 contenders. I think he can, because a player that gives you 23 goal contributions, if you have a player like Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, then can add at least 20 goal contributions to that. That is top 4 material, isn't it? Unless I'm mistaken. But I think that is top 4 material. That is absolutely top 4 material. But how easy is Lautaro Martnez? Now this is the bitter truth. How easy is Lautaro Martnez to joining Arsenal? How easy is that deal? I don't think it's the easiest of deals, really. I absolutely don't look at it as the easiest of deals. Yes, it might be, but I don't think it is. What do people think? In the comments below. What do you think, people? What do you think? Do you think Arsenal could get Lautaro Martnez? It would be. I think it would even be harder than the James Maddison deal. I just have that feeling it would even be harder than the James Madison deal. But again, it could get over the line if Arsenal did have the money. But I think it would need a lot of sales. It would need a lot of it would need us to move on a lot of players, just like the James Madison deal. We would need to move on a lot and a lot of players. We need to move on a lot of dead wood. I think we will need to get around to raise around 60 million euros, in player sales just to get in Lautaro Martinez, and that could actually block our chances of getting in number 10. But one thing I love with Lautaro is you might not need a typical number 10 if you're playing Lautaro Martinez as your as on the forward line. You might not need that number 10 because he is more of he's not a traditional striker. He's not a conventional striker. He is, I should say, he's a crossbreed. But Lautaro Martinez, unless we get a big development, I don't see this one happen as well. The other story I had to talk about is Renato Sanchez to Arsenal. Now, Lille and their president have actually come out and said they will sell. The player has chances and is likely to move on in this summer if the right bids actually happen. The clubs interested is Liverpool and Arsenal. Those are the two clubs I'm informed about that are interested in getting in Renato Sanchez. Again, another deal that just disappeared out of the blue. I don't think there is a lot to speak about. I don't think there's a lot to speak about between us and Renato Sanchez. We don't need in a central midfielder. We need in a CDM. He's available. Would you take him? Would you not take him? We've discussed that before, and I really can't say much about that. Maybe the goalkeeping situation with Aaron Ramsdale. Now, the Athletic have actually come out and said David Ornstein. Hope I can get that. So David Ornstein says he is their number one target. David Ornstein. He is their number one target. So a couple of reports have actually come out and said Arsenal are pulling out of the race. Arsenal are absolutely tired of this race. So it's been reported that we are actually pulling out of of the race because of the price. We are absolutely tired of it. We are absolutely disgusted, and nobody is absolutely disgusted than me that we want to pay that much for such a player. No one is more disgusted than me. No one. But again, if you think about it, Ramsdale and his quality and maybe and the potential you have in him, homegrown, English talent, young. Maybe Arsenal would want to give it a try. But David Ornstein says they're not pulling out. He is their number one target, despite reports saying that we would actually want to pull out of the race. Thanks everybody for smashing that button, people. Thanks so much, for watching in. That really means a lot. Let's get them to 170 right about now. Please make sure you do smash the like button. Make sure you do smash the like button, right? Make sure you do smash the like button. Let's get them to 170, and let's see what some of you people are saying down in the chat. It's amazing. Someone saying you guys are having a discussion, and someone is saying Ramsdale is average. Look, let's get into a little bit before I actually dive into much of your comments. Right? Let's try to understand the situation with Aaron Ramsdale. Another player that has potential, in my opinion, another player that has a lot of potential to become great. But the question is the price tag? It could be more like of the Nicola Pepe situation. Is the player really that worth that much? That's the question. Is the player really that much? Because in football these days, and this is becoming a big problem to players, in football, you're no longer judged by what you put on the pitch. You're judged by the price on your head. If you bought Saka for 100 million at the moment, 19 years of age, And in his debut season, he records 2 goals and 3 assists. Saka is a flop. Saka is a flop. So that is what's happening at the moment. Aaron Ramsdale might not be the worst of goalkeepers, and I think if you look at how how people rating him, I think there is something about him, but the price, that is my problem. The price. Yes, he could have saved a couple of a couple of attempts for Sheffield United, kept them in games last season. But is he worth the 32 million we are looking at? And we overpaying, more of the premium for English players? I really don't get it. Let's smash the like button, people. We are very close to 170. 6 more likes to do that. 6 more likes to do that. Let's make sure I do hit the like button, people. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for doing that. I should give you a Ben White update later in the day about his medical and things like that. So I'll make sure that I'm not late for that because today is the Wednesday. The Sky Sports have reported that the medical will actually take place, and I've seen Duncan Castles actually tweet about it, but I need to get in more information. When it comes to the likes of when it comes to the likes of Duncan Castles, it could be at times it could be reliable, at times it could be unreliable. So we need to get in the right information. But thanks everybody for watching in. Big up my man Glenn for watching in. Big up my man Glenn, and he says good morning. How you doing, my bro? I want Ward-Prowse. This is Chan. I want Ward-Prowse, James Ward-Prowse, the Southampton free kick specialist. I think it's good. With set pieces. Look, I think he had a brilliant season last season. I think he was good last season. Would I absolutely be crazy over him? No, not really. I think I don't see his ceiling. I don't see him, exceed, his ceiling. I don't see him as a player that has a lot of potential to actually explode. I don't see him like that. Pick up my man Saka in the chat. He says I was gone by for some time, but I'm back. Pick up my man Saka. He's a hero. I don't think he will come. That is according to Brits. Thank you so much, Aaron's. Good afternoon, members. Good afternoon. How are you doing, bro? Cossy, stop lying about Manuel Locatelli. Wow. What should I say? But I do give you my sources. That's the good thing. I do give you my sources. That's a very good thing. And look, I'm not pushing for the Manuel Locatelli situation because I think the easier one to do would be them Howsam or Waddell, and then the other one should have been the Ruben Neves deal, the Premier League experience, and how easy it would be. Because I think those 2 deals would be easy. So I don't have an agenda. I'm not really pushing any agenda towards pro or against Manuel Locatelli. I don't have any agenda. And thank you so much for airing out your views. I love the engagement. Hello, my friend. How is Madison Dale so far? The Madison deal, if anyone is asking about James Maddison, I've seen Bavers put out a video yesterday and was saying that he was actually reporting, not saying. He was reporting that we're expecting an offer from Arsenal very, very soon, imminently. I've tried to dig out on that and see if I can actually find any more relevant information and probably put it out. But I don't think we are close. Now, with Martin Odegaard back in the mix, I don't think we are that close. Honestly. Good afternoon, my brother Cossy. Good afternoon. How are you doing? Cossy, is Ben White medical done? The medical, as reported by Sky, and as I told you the last time we talked about Ben White, is today. Yeah, the medical is today. We are at 183 likes. Let's get in 7 more likes to get them to 190 people. Thank you so much for doing that, for smashing that like button. Look, the ceiling can be 300 likes. If you get 300 likes on the show, who says we can't? Let's smash the like button, people. 7 more likes to do that. 7 more people to do that for us. So with James Maddison, with Madrid now saying we will sell Martin Odegaard. With Martin Odegaard says, I want to go back to Arsenal. With Mikel Arteta saying he is my priority. the James Madison deal is, will stall. And I think I will speak about that with Glenn later in the day. We will come up, we will come on the show, and we'll speak about how this deal will actually get affected more and more by the rumors and links with of Martin Odegaard. We either do it early or fail to do it, right? Or fail to do it. I don't know if I even don't know if Arsenal are still serious about James Madison. But at least what I know is it's been reported the guy is a priority. The guy is a priority, and that's it. The guy is a priority. That is as I reported yesterday, he is one of our priorities, still a priority. So maybe that's the piece of information we can we can take at the moment, isn't it? Good afternoon, bro, from Mukono. Good afternoon, my man. How are you doing? Morning, Cossy. How about Awesome Hour? We've said with the Awesome Hour deal, that really depends on a couple of deals. It depends on how things go between us and Manuel Locatelli. It depends on how things go between us and Ruben Neves. Juventus is broke to that extent. I think Juve. I don't want to say they are broke. I don't want to say they're broke, but they're finding themselves. I think they've been they've been hit so much by the pandemic. Well, Arsenal have been hit as well. It's no excuse, but they've been hit by the pandemic. I think that's the excuse I can give you. Thanks for the work. Thank you for appreciating as well, Silva, Howsam, and Madison. Good afternoon, Cossy. I'm just from Celerion. Good afternoon. Any news about Ben White? Like I said, I need to consolidate the pieces of information I have. And don't worry, I'll be live. Don't worry, it won't be an upload. I'll be live and we'll speak about Ben White and his medical and everything. I've seen Duncan Castles trying to string, to string along a couple of information updates, but I should get one very, very soon, and I'll be available. Locatelli's transfer can't happen. It's just rumors. I mean, they're the same statements made on the Ben White deal, and now everybody's like, oh, Ben White is going to Arsenal, or maybe, right? So I mean, from rumors we get the right thing. From rumors we get the news. So it happens. Good morning to you, my man Sunday. Good afternoon, Cossy. I'm James from Celerion. Talk about a war. Nothing I can talk about a war at the moment. There is nothing advanced with Howsam Awa. With the Howsam Awa deal, there is absolutely nothing advanced at the moment. We don't have anything advanced. Let's smash the like button, people. We are very, very close to our target. 10 more likes to do that, people. 10 more likes. Very close to our target. Very, very close to our target. Let's get in more 10 likes to get them to 220. 220. Let's get in 10 more likes, people. Thank you so much for smashing that button. You guys are the real deal. We could get to 300, by the way. We could get to 300, and if we get there, we'll be the real army. Good morning, Cossy. How are we doing? Any good news for us? At the moment, I think it's a lot of transfer stalling, really. Cossy, I sent you a message on your WhatsApp number, but you didn't respond. So sorry about that. My man Abaka, can you resend that? Can you resend that, please? I received so many messages. I received about 100 DMs on my WhatsApp on a daily basis, and that's why at times I prefer to use Twitter, because with Twitter, like I said, with Twitter, you ask me a question, it's easy for me to reply, easily, and I can reply to many people. With WhatsApp, it has that kind of disorder that I don't like, really. I'm not really so much in love with the app, but just send me that DM, just resend the DM, and I'll be able to get in touch. Alex says, why does Arsenal insist on a player who doesn't want to play for Arsenal? I think if you've been following my streams, I've spoken about so many things, in this situation, so many things that the likes of the likes of Eddie Nazar, and now Chelsea finally actually got him. And I've already spoken about how professional football is all about. It's not all about liking and disliking. It's more than that. It's really more than that. They're looking at him as the perfect player, and you can't blame them. Good afternoon, Cossy. Vincent from Kampala. Good afternoon to you, bro. Good afternoon, Cossy. Is there any news about Ben White? Yes, there is an update from from Duncan Castles, but I need to get more information on that one, on the medical. I need to get more information on the medical. But there is an update from Duncan Cassius. There's a very, very big update on Duncan Cassius on Ben White. And I hope I will echo that one the moment I confirm it. The moment I confirm it. Do smash the like button, people. Make sure you smash that like button. We are 9 likes away from 230. Let's get that done right about now. 300 people watching, 220 likes. There is still a disparity. It's there, and we need to close the bridge. We need to close the gap. And thanks everybody for subscribing. If you've subscribed today, you're part of the 30,000 family, and you're part of that family. You're part of the Moses family that is moving to the promised land, which is 50,000. So that should be at 50,000. We will take some water, and then we will begin the journey to heaven, where we will get to 100K. So make sure you do smash the like button, people, and subscribe, of course, because look, I said the first 30,000. I mean, the first 50,000 will mean the world to me. I'll be creating content for the first 50,000 subscribers of this channel, and you guys have voted for 3 live streams. 3 live streams. Of course, I'll be asking you more of the content you like. So make sure you do tell me, what content you like, so that we can actually produce content that you like. I mean, I'm not a good fan of watch-alongs. Many people do love watch-alongs, and I'll ask you later if you do love watch-alongs. If you do love them, then we'll actually do them. Absolutely no problem with that. Right. There's so many comments, but I'd love to get in as many as I can. I love to get in as many as I can as well. Many people asking me about Ben White. At the moment, Ben White has not done his medical, has not completed his medicals. The information we have from Sky, and that was reported yesterday, but one, is that the player will do his medicals on Wednesday, and today is Wednesday. So we're still waiting for that. We are still waiting for that. Absolutely, we're still waiting for that. The moment we get it, the moment we are there, why not? So at the moment, no medical, but it's expected today. Of course, there's so many rumors that he'll be announced, in the match behind closed doors, against Watford. We are not even sure that match will happen, and things like that. So at the moment I get in the right information, then I will actually speak to you. But like I said, there is an update from Duncan Cassius. It needs a little polishing, and then I will actually tell you what happened. I'm looking at our third jersey here. It doesn't look so ugly like I thought, by the way. It doesn't look so ugly, right? But make sure you hit the like button, people. Tash says, I feel like I'm watching AFTV 20 years ago. Robbie, 20 years ago. You guys are lucky. I've not seen AFTV start. I didn't see AFTV start. I think I've seen AFTV for now 3 years, and it's 3 years, 2 years. It's been DT. It's been Troops. It's been. I think those are the highlights. Those are the 2 guys that make the highlights on AFTV, and the highlight makers, and they. Yeah, but thanks so much. Thank you so much. Right. Okay. I need to answer this. Hello, bro. How about the Lucas Torreira deal so far? Guys, the truth is, Juve could be struggling to get Manuel Locatelli, but we are struggling to move on up our dead wood. Truth be told, we are struggling. And look, I've always told you, the truth is bitter, but it's always the truth. We are struggling to move on our players. We're struggling to sell our players. It's not only Lucas Torreira, but with the Lucas Torreira situation, what I know at the moment, he actually came out and spoke about how he had to use a psychiatrist because of the lack of game time at Arsenal. He said actually that football is what gives him that extra zeal to live. Without football, he is absolutely nothing. And he actually said that the time he spent without playing football at Arsenal affected him so much. Lazio have been interested in the player. Arsenal are looking at 20 million euros. Lazio do not want to pay that amount. So it looks like we are really struggling to get the right valuation for our players, and we are also struggling to find clubs that actually do want to take them. The same thing with Lacazette. The same thing with the likes of Rich Nelson and a couple of others. But what I can confirm though, is if the right opportunity manifests itself, he will leave the club because he is more interested in getting game time. He's more comfortable in Italy than in England, and things more of that nature. But at the moment, there is nothing advanced. There is absolutely nothing advanced. My man Gerard says it's okay for Odegaard to come back. Hi, Cossy. Anyone on Eduardo Camavinga? Camavinga, it's been so silent. I think, look, I won't be surprised if Eduardo Camavinga stays at training. I won't be very surprised if he stays at training. Look, I think many clubs are interested and would want to buy him. There's no doubt. There's absolutely no question about that. Many clubs are interested. They would want to buy him, but it's complicated, and I don't know why it is so complicated. Arsenal were interested in that guy, and many reports came out and saying we were working, so hard behind the scenes. It didn't come through. United were reportedly close. It died. Chelsea were hijacking Manchester United deal. It died. PSG wanted the player. It died off. So at the moment, there is nothing with Eduardo Camavinga. There's nothing advanced, especially with Arsenal. I mean, so many reports from Linked Sport have already said he is part of our priorities. But I don't believe that anymore. I don't believe that anymore. Yeah, he was reported as a priority for Arsenal. We wanted to believe the story. We believe the story. It died. At the moment, I don't think he is still part of our close, our close priorities. I don't think we will see him join Arsenal soon. He could stay at Rennes. And look, if he stays at Rennes and signs a new contract, because this contract is actually running down this summer, next summer, sorry. If he stays at Rennes, what's going to happen is signs a new contract, and they're going to put a 100 million price tag on his head. Arsenal will never get him. So I look at Camavinga as a player that will replace N'Golo Kante at Chelsea. I'm looking at him as a player that will go to PSG, maybe. I don't see him join Arsenal anymore. Yeah, I don't see him join Arsenal anymore. Sorry for that. Sorry to say that, but that's it. I don't see him make the switch. Yeah, I don't see him make the switch. Make sure you smash the like button, people. We are very close to 250. Wow. Very, very close, by the way, to 250. We are 240. So very close to 250. Make sure we get that done as well. Okay. How far with Tammy Abraham, Cossy? At the moment, that's a deal that depends on Chelsea and how they fare in the market for a striker. Yeah. So how far with Tammy Abraham? Not close. Absolutely not close. Not close. Because with Tammy, like I've reported, with Tammy Abraham, Chelsea do want to bring in a super intelligent striker, depending on what they will get in, and then they want to give us Tammy Abraham. So it's not more of Arsenal buying Tammy. It's Chelsea, even if Chelsea cannot find a striker. It's more of Chelsea getting in a striker fast, and then they can offload Tammy. Personal terms are not a problem, and I believe not to be a problem. Not yet agreed, but I believe not to be a problem, and the player would fancy a move to Arsenal as well. But at the moment, it depends on whether Chelsea actually get in a good striker. If they fail, then we will not actually get in Tammy Abraham. Arsenal just want to waste their money on a player who doesn't want to play for the club. Why not move on without Locatelli? Without that, this Locatelli of a player. Thank you so much. Arsenal deserved proved players. Let's buy Bissouma, Madison, and Rafinha. Are you talking about the Rafinha at Leeds? Are you talking about the Rafinha at Leeds? Because I've not seen any links, but he was another beautiful player, wasn't he? Another beautiful, beautiful talent last season, wasn't he? But look, I think, I mean, yesterday we were speaking about the ambitions of this club, and we say, and I was actually making the argument that maybe we're looking at a club that doesn't have the same ambitions as the fans. Maybe because if look for me, if you're saying London is red and Chelsea is buying Haaland and Chelsea want to give you Tammy Abraham, the ambitions don't make sense then. Yeah, the ambitions of the club don't actually make sense. They don't. All right, what are you people saying? Okay, it's if he's English, Ramsdale will be expensive. He is English and he is expensive. Yeah, he is English and he is expensive. No question about that. Because see, why don't we go with Ruben Neves? I think he is part of the priorities. I think it is Locatelli. I think I should say this. I think it is Locatelli, Ruben Neves, and Noah. Locatelli, Ruben Neves, and Noah. Okay. There's this guy saying Ruben Neves is Manu bound. So it's I won't say that. I won't say that. Thank you so much for the comment. Already sick and tired with Arsenal transfer updates, and we still have 5 weeks. We still have 5 weeks. At times, you know what I used to do when I was when the time I wasn't a content creator. By the time we had a lot of Arsenal, news. What I used to do is to take a break. Yeah, I could take a break like 2 days. 2 days. And what's funny with Arsenal, you could take a break with after 2 days, and then you don't find any fresh update. You don't find a very big update, a massive update. That's what that is what happens. There were summers where we brought in only one player. There were summers when we didn't bring in any. There were summers when there are transfer windows like in January where you don't even expect Arsenal to make any close signing. That is, it happens with Arsenal. It really happens. But the rumors around this club will never go away. They will never. Yeah. Someone, and this last comment I'll take says, we need Patrick Bamford. Really? Do we need Patrick Bamford? Not really sure about that. Look, I think he had a very great season last season. I can't disagree with that. And he's a good striker, by the way. It's a good striker, but do I feel him? I don't know. Please make sure you do smash the like button, people. Thanks everybody for watching in. It's been a very interesting stream, and I'll speak to you very soon. Probably when I get that update from Ben White or anything new, I'll be at your service. Remain Cossy. Let's get them to 280 likes right about now. Thanks everybody for watching. I'll speak to you very, very soon.